Thank you for clicking on this video. I've taken about 2 milligrams of the Eddie. I have a Pepsi and a cherry fruit chew. Today's project is extremely exciting. I've done many drawings of it. I thought of this costume several years ago, but actually at that time I didn't even have the skill sets required to make it, but I have leveled up. Here is the picture, one of them. It'll load. That's one of them. She has a very sweetie face. And I've been looking at a lot of masks, sun masks, and the faces I don't feel are very emotive. But I think I'm gonna try to really do a nice sculpture on the face of this mask. Another drawing I have of it, this is the one from years ago, probably about 2 years. The sundress, and this is quite simple compared to what I think I'll actually be doing, but it also has a moon dress counterpart, which is gonna be part 2 of this video. And in this design, I also have a circlet designed for each of them, but that was before I decided to actually do the masks. So I don't know if this kind of circlet will be compatible with a mask because it sticks out a little bit, but I'm sure I'll figure out some kind of fun headpiece to go with it for when I'm not wearing it, because I can't wear the mask like all day at the fair. You can see in the picture it features a yellow skirt that's quite poofy, a very low basque waist, and some very big puff sleeves. And I'm very much looking forward to the result of this one. Without further ado, get to making the mask. Let me just do a material breakdown, because this project has more materials than I think any project I've done before on this channel. I'm going to do a general breakdown, and this will apply to every category. Creighton Color Tempera Gold Paint. Next we got this mask. It's very hard to breathe in, but I'm going to be using it as the mask base for the sun mask, to kind of just fit the face and kind of keep it secure as like a thing to build off of. But I think the actual shape of the face is going to be altered greatly, and you'll see that coming up here in the next part. I have this metallic gold fabric, very cute, it's stretchy. I have a yellow shirt, too freaking big, what the heck. I'm gonna sew them kind of like tight and have like some detachable long sleeves for this. This one's very exciting. I have Joann's Dead Stock 100% cotton gauze with little suns on it. How sweet is that? When I designed this dress, Joann's was actually still open. So that's sad in a way, but also fortunate, because I was able to get I got probably at least 3 yards of this available for my uses in this project. I don't expect to need a ton, but hopefully I can make something special out of it, because it will never be again. For the main body of the corset, I have some gold upholstery fabric. Take a close little looky. It has a slight little pattern embossed on it, and it's a very shaggy kind of velvety upholstery fabric. I don't have a ton of it. It's like a very true gold color, and I thought that was perfect because I don't want it to look kind of like cheap if I use like yellow. I need it to be like gold is the color, not yellow. And this is just perfect to make sure that is correct. Next I have this satin shirt. I got this set at Salvation Army, which was a really awesome find for like 12 bucks. I have an enormous circle skirt in satin, and then this is the shirt, and they match. So, and I have one more fabric. So when me and my BF went to Salem, Massachusetts, we went to a Goodwill there, and I got these really beautiful curtains. They're like sheer organza, and they have some like gold stuff on them. Like it's like a big brocade flower kind of thing. And they have these ugly rings. I hate these rings so bad on curtains. I did try ripping it. So I'm gonna cut off the rings, and then I think I'm gonna use this to try to make some kind of like cape of epicness, like flapping away in the wind. And you know it's windy out there. You've seen my reveals. Fucking backyard backs up into a cornfield, which is awesome for reveals because it looks like Middle Earth or something, but it's extremely windy And actually, because it's spring, we've been having insane windstorms and my neighbors' roofs of their barns are blowing off, which isn't funny. It was a very, very old barn. I don't think that they cared much about it, but my barns, I'm lucky that the roofs have not blown off. My barns are so run down, I actually wish they would fall over. So I'm gonna be starting with the mask, and I think it might be one of the most tricky parts of the costume, so it's probably best to get it out of the way, but let's just get going. I have the mask base. What I'm gonna do is draw a big sun on a piece of paper. Then I'm gonna place this in the center and kind of build up papier-mache layers all down the sides of it and the mask to kind of get a base mask going. And then I'm gonna build that up a little bit more once it dries and use some clay to make the facial features. So we can just hold it up to test for size. I want to make sure that it's not so poking downward that it's going to poke my chest when I look down. So maybe a tiny bit smaller. It's hard to tell though, because I did want it to be very like big and noticeable. I think I actually am going to keep it. So I'm just going to fold this in half and then in half again. And that way we have a center point marked. Just unfold it, and then we have the center, and I can draw the sun on here. So I've got this to make my circle form, so I'm going to place that on the center and trace it, and then kind of adjust the size till I feel like the circle is like an appropriate face size, and then the little light rays will take up whatever space is left. I have an Andes mint. This is low-key like my favorite candy is Andes chocolate mints, and my love for them started at Olive Garden and it's ending here in the craft room. Yeah, I was just saying that, bro. So I'm thinking I like this like two curve shape more, that kind of goes like this. Well, excuse you. Oh. Guys, she's blind. She cannot be up here, bro. Okay. I'll hold her. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh my god, move the Pepsi. I'm thinking that I want two curves just like this, and then I'll curve it at the bottom so it won't poke me, and I'll go back around like this. So I'm gonna cut out this shape. It's hard to see now, but we'll get there. And I'm gonna try to replicate it 8 times around the mask. Normally I would put like a point side down, but I've made it like the middle side down, and that way it won't poke me in the neck too bad. And then also the way I've taped it onto the mask is so there's like a lot of mask like behind it, and so that kind of moves it forward off the face, so it's not like gonna be rubbing up against my sleeves and things like that. It's kind of like more forward than the rest of the costume. So yeah, I'm gonna continue taping like all the way onto the mask, and I'm gonna cover this whole form with glue and paper and let it dry, and that'll make a nice base for the mask. And after that, it'll be time to like sculpt and kind of bolster it up. One other thing I wanted to talk about is that I've seen a lot of people make these out of cardboard, and that can work fine, but I find personally that cardboard in a mask makes it very, very heavy. Let me get my mushroom. So this is an unfinished mushroom mask I made, and this is 100% paper. There's zero cardboard or any material in this besides glue, paper, and a mask inside of there, and that makes it extremely lightweight, which is awesome when you wear it, because normally a mask that's this kind of cumbersome, that's the word I was looking for. It would normally be top heavy is what I'm saying. So having it just made out of paper though, it's extremely light, and that's the same kind of concept I'm wanting to make with this one. Is by avoiding cardboard I can make it lighter, and that'll make the wearing experience much more enjoyable, less overstimulating. So that's my plan. Only paper and glue for the major construction, maybe some foam clay for the sculpting. So instead of newspaper, I have a lot of this kind of like packaging paper from Amazon and whatnot. I've been saving it for a while, but it's one of my favorite papers to use because it is strong and absorbent. So I'm going to cover the whole form in that. I have a whole bag of it that's just been taking up space in my craft room, so I'm glad to actually get it used up now. I got all my glue types in here. Hopefully some of them are white glue. I got hella tacky glue. I got these at garage sales and stuff. And you know, this is from the Dollar Tree, probably about 2010. This is literally like my childhood glue. Like, look how fucked it is. What the hell? If that's not dried up, then honestly, good job, Ross non-toxic all-purpose white glue. You really made a long-lasting prod. And I got these other craft glues. I'm pretty sure these are all from the Dollar Tree from literally fucking years ago. But that might be what we're working with. And you know what? It wouldn't hurt to get rid of them, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, rip up my paper, and start dipping it in the glue and then applying it directly to the face in a single layer. Let that dry, come back, do another layer, and then we'll have our base to work with, and then I'll sculpt on top of that. So I've let the first coat dry, and it's reasonably stiff. I'm gonna cut off this excess that I have kind of going off the edges and kind of put on a second coat, and I have some foam clay here. I'm gonna start building up the face. I'm gonna give it some big cheeks. You can see here in the reference photo, it's a very emotive, like feminine, lovely kind of face. It's definitely not what it's giving right now, which is nothing. This is like a blank canvas, so we're gonna build up the lips and the cheeks, and I'm gonna put fake lashes on her. It's gonna be very cutely. Right now I'm gonna start putting on some of the second layer. It's almost dry. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit with it not being completely dry, but I've got this like Amazon foam clay, and that's what we're gonna be using. So now that I've got the face all built up with clay, that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to be taking very small pieces of paper and covering all of the contours of the sculpting, and that ensures that there's not a ton of cracks or anything. I'm going for as smooth of a surface as I can manage because all of the little grooves and whatnot will be very noticeable once it's painted. And I've got a circle of little items here that's gonna, I set the mask into, and that kind of creates like a little bowl to keep all of the sun rays kind of elevated so that they maintain their like cone shape facing out towards the face. So I've covered all the foam with papier-mache, or just glue and paper, and so here's a little fit check. So I'm liking how it looks. I'm gonna put on a third coat of glue and paper on the front and then also one on the back, and that should make it super strong. I'm gonna join the mask to the backing completely with like paper all around it, and then it'll be, I think, strong enough to start adding paint layers. So it's the second day now, and this biddy is pretty dry. I do like how it looks. I was going for like a very full face, like very jolly. This is what I learned is called like healer's cheeks, where people have really big apple cheeks. It's considered to be called healer's cheeks, and that's the kind of vibe I was going for. I wanted it to be a very welcoming, friendly kind of face, and I sculpted the eyes to have like a little bit of an extra arch so that she's smiling very wide. Next, I'm going to be painting it with the acrylic paint, and if there's one thing I learned, it's that you don't use your good brushes with metallic paint. So I have this little shit brush. I have this shit brush to use, and that way I won't mess up my good stuff, but I'm going to cover it with the tempera paint, and then I'm going to detail it with other metallic paint. I have like a bronze and some white and pink and golds because I'm going to blush the cheeks very cutely, and that should make up a good paint job. And then I'm going to add some pearls and gems, so I'm going to use the half pearls and maybe a few other stones or like some fancy beads I can find to kind of dress it up. Also, you can see how stiff it's gotten. So this would be 3 layers of glue and paper, and in between each layer I let it dry. That makes it nice and tough. And then the back is also done, and I papered it to the mask, and that's gonna make it super secure. Like, it's strong, durable. I could foresee it being rained on and getting away with it, and that's what we want, and I think it's good to go. So now that I think of it, I'm actually going to put a base coat of white acrylic on first, and that will make a better base for the tempura, because I think that It is probably a little thin because it's like shit level cheap craft paint, and the acrylic is like a little more serious. So I'm just gonna let this dry for a few minutes. It's kind of a good thing that acrylic dries so fast, so I'll only wait like 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna take my gold paint and put it on there. And if the white mixes into it a little bit, it's not really a big deal. It'll just kind of change the color a tiny bit. And we're gonna do multiple coats. Kind of smells like fruity or something. It smells like watermelon detangler from the dollar store from 2003. You know, the thing about that detangler is every woman I've ever mentioned it to knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm putting on the second coat now, and it is quite thin. And I don't know how many coats it's gonna take, but I don't want it to be so streaky. I should have known that from getting like craft paint instead of like acrylic. They didn't have any gold acrylic there. Well, they had some, but it was like a $20 bottle of like good painting paint. I'm not buying that for this. Freaking bullshit. So I'm just gonna have to add a bunch of coats of the tempera. And it's quite thick down here where I just blobbed it on, so maybe I'll kind of just do a really thick coat of it or something. So this layer is dry. It's a little less transparent now. So I'm gonna cover it a little bit more. I did find some gold acrylic paint from my stash that I'm using, and I probably should have just ordered some or something if I couldn't find it, because it is far more opaque and has much better coverage. I also feel like the gold color is a little bit like more of a natural gold instead of like a super yellowy gold. So maybe I'll use this as like a top coat, but now I have a whole lot of it for how crappy it is. So that's awesome. But I'm gonna cover it in this gold and then kind of accent it with some bronze, I think. And I'm gonna add cute little pink cheeks and everything and get the face really how I want it. So I've got some regular non-metallic white and brown paint that I'm mixing with my metallic gold, and I'm just using that to kind of fit into the contours with the darks here and the lights anywhere that's elevated, with the darks around anything I want to be pushed back, and the lights on anything I want to come forward in the perspective. So the cheeks are light, the nose is light, the lips are light, and then I filled in the grooves with the dark brown, and I'm mixing it with the gold all the time to keep it having its pearlescent qualities. So you can see how the face is kind of shaded now, and I've just got to figure out how to add pink to the cheeks while still making it look metallic, which might be tricky, but I'm just going to try to use red and pink paint and put gold over it, and hopefully that will do the trick. So next I'm gonna spray it with a clear coat and that'll seal it up, and I'm gonna cover the eye holes so you can't see the eyes through with some of this fabric that I showed you earlier. It's like a mesh organza, so I'm gonna cut off a little piece of this where the little lines in it are and make some eye covers, and I think that will cover pretty well while still allowing me to be able to see. And then when all that's done, I'm gonna put on some fake lashes and paint the back of it, and then it will be all done. So to finish off the mask, I added the lashes. I added them incrementally. I think it looks a little better to have them like broken up. I also like how it looks from the side because they stick out a good deal. Get that to focus. I like how they stick out from the side profile. I think that looks pretty good. And lastly, I'm gonna take tiny bits of white paint and put them into the lashes like little bits of dew. And the lashes are pretty stiff because I painted them gold. And it's hard to see, but it does make them kind of blend a lot better with the face, that they're not just black. And you can really tell that they're gold IRL. So yeah, I put beads on the peaks of all of the rays, and then one on either side here in the top, and then the 3 on the face. That's all the beading I think I'm gonna do. So this is pretty much done. I realized at this point during editing that the video is becoming too long, so I decided to break it up into 2 parts, and I'm just gonna have the mask in this one and the rest of the dress in the next one, so we'll move right on to the reveal and the critique. Tragedy has struck. Unfortunately, part of my basement has flooded, which you might know is where the craft room is, which is going to delay my ability to make videos for a few weeks and is going to delay the moon dress version of this, unfortunately, but I have all of the sundress parts filmed already. I'll be putting out the dress part immediately after this, and it's okay. It's getting fixed, we'll be back at it. It's just an unfortunate event. To get started with the critique for the mask, we're gonna be doing our normal criteria, which is gonna be visual appeal, function, cost, craftsmanship, and composition. And I use these 5 criteria to kind of grade how well the project turned out based on my vision for it. For visual appeal, I'll give it a rating of 8 out of 10. It's very beautiful. I think it's a very striking mask. Many people online have been saying that it's giving them Uncanny Valley vibes, which I don't know about that. I'm not that creeped out by it. Some of you may find it creepy, but I think that adds to it in a way, and I think that it is very well put together, quite striking and quite beautiful. For function, I'm gonna do 4 out of 10 because I am absolutely sweating my balls off when I wear it. There's zero breathability. I don't know how to fix that at all because this kind of fitting over the face the way it does, I don't see any other way to change that without making it basically a completely different mask. It just is what it is, but I can't wear it for very long. When I was doing the reveal, it was getting condensation inside of it, which was very unpleasant. You know, it looks good and that's what matters. Function, 4 out of 10. Cost, honestly, a 9 out of 10. Because the entire cost of this mask is probably around $5, which is pretty awesome as far as costumes go. If I skipped things like the fake lashes and the pearls, I could even get this down to like $3. Craftsmanship, I will say probably like 7 out of 10. It could have some better craftsmanship in some spots. The nose, it's fallen on the ground a few times and the nose has been compacted a little bit because I didn't secure it well enough with paper mache after the foam clay went on. So I'm going to keep that in mind for the next one and for future masks, that the nose needs to be extra strong, or any protruding part of the mask that might be impacted if it falls needs to be strengthened. And other than that, I'm pretty happy with how smooth it is. The paint coverage is even, it's symmetrical. I think the inside looks good. In the past, I've had mesh in here that wasn't very well secured, but I think actually paper macheing the mesh in did a lot to improve the quality of the piece. And maybe in the future I'll try to avoid having just an elastic band. I think it's a little bit tacky, but it is what it is. This is a mask that is to be viewed from the front. Composition, this one's a little bit tricky because normally I'd grade how well this piece goes with the rest of the dress, which we haven't gone over yet. So I'll just grade how kind of symmetrical it is with itself, and I'll just say like 8 out of 10. Symmetrical, good. I'm happy with the expression, very pleasing kind of look. If you've made it to this point in the video, thank you very much for watching. I've really been enjoying making these long form videos, and I appreciate you guys actually sticking around to watch the whole thing, which I know is kind of a big ask of people these days. But thank you for your views, likes, comments, subscribing, anything like that is greatly appreciated to kind of boost the channel to the place that I would like it to be. So please consider doing any of those. I am gonna put out my dress video for this next, and then it's gonna be moon mask and then moon dress. And I also want to do male counterpart costumes to match, a menswear version of the sun and moon costume as well for my partner to wear, because I think that that would be really cunt at the Ren Fair. So tune in for that if you'd like to see, and have a great rest of your day.